I wanted to make a little video about what I've been going through recently, almost as a lifestyle thing. So it's a Wednesday. I consider Wednesday's day of the Virgo. I was born in August, so it is my day. And the reason that I set that precedent for myself a while ago was to make sure that I don't get thrown into the philosophies of society that a Wednesday can't be a cool day. And so I try to go out of my way these days to make it cool. I do that by creating some artwork, working on projects that I've come up with on my own, and obviously doing the hard work that allows me the freedom to do these projects. So my name is Turab. I make videos about emotional intelligence, about spirituality, business, and all of the things that I believe lead to a nice life, an interesting life, one that keeps giving back time and time again. So these days, the things that I'm thinking about is the advice that I give, am I following my own advice? And most of the time, we don't have the luxury to make sure that that happens, but the reality is we must at some point admit to ourselves that this life is indeed necessarily a process of augmentation, a process of improvement. So my schedule's been fairly full. I have meetings basically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way till 7 p.m. more or less every single day, because I'm constantly recruiting. And I am getting my team to the point, my leaders to the point where they can start recruiting. Now, every company is going to come across this unless they have a tremendous amount of experience in the CEO prior, or they have just an all-star player right off the bat. But I'll tell you from my experience moving many times in my life and my experience building 4 separate companies that it does require a lot of sifting through bullshit in order to get gold. And so far, it's been a lot of fun. And there's a lot of really interesting conversations that I get to have. But mostly, I get to do what I really love doing, which is the essence of entrepreneurship. The entrepreneur is someone that says, hey, there's money out in the world, there are skills to get, and you know what? I'm gonna go and do life the way that I want to do it. So 8 to 5, basically every single day, I'm a dentist, and then from 5 to about 9, or also in the mornings from 5 to about 9, I am Turab. I am the brand Turabify. And this brand really represents scaling systems and operations. I've always been interested in strategy when I was younger. I remember my earliest memories of action figures. I used to put them together in cool groups, units that would have storylines, and they would walk through my living room set up in strategic positions to get snipes off on the enemy team and eventually reach their objective. I also spent a lot of time painting, drawing, and sketching when I was little, so the dentistry aspect of things is definitely the art influence. I also remember really genuinely enjoying talking to my peers and actually conveying really deep messages to them. So my earliest memory of breaking through that was when there was a girl in my class, I think I was in 2nd grade, that ended up not really liking me that much, or at least I could tell her external, I guess, vibes were telling me that she didn't like me very much. And I went onto the table and I said, hey, what's up? Why don't you like me? What did I do something wrong? Did I offend you? And it turned out we ended up being very good friends further in that school and career. And I realized how important it is to communicate all of the time. And it's been foundational in the things that I am doing these days, because part of the reason that people like working with me is because they enjoy communicating with me. The companies that I'm building out currently are Bright Smiles Community Outreach Coalition, which is a national nonprofit that delivers dental kits and preventative education to as many people in need as possible. Franklin Dental Care and Dentures, one of 12 dental practices that I intend to own in the next 10 years as a way to build a significant amount of capital so that I can do the other things that I want in life, and obviously a way for me to learn how to scale large businesses and accrue talent that actually matters. Furthermore, I am building out Turabify, which the main stream of income right now is the Turabify Network. because I'm accruing all of the skills that are necessary to scale really any business. The Turabify Network is my legacy statement to myself and to society. And by the way, I'm making some lentils here because I'm hungry and all we have in the fridge is mutton. In Pakistan, goat is a delicacy, and my brother slaughtered one or two for his young child's birthday this weekend. So I decided, you know what, screw the carbs, let's go with carbs. So there's that. There is AI Research and Seminars LLC, which I am a equity shareholder in, which is a company that intends to bring a bunch of crypto professionals all over, really leading professionals in the world together to disseminate information about crypto and create a legitimate environment where legitimate information is being shared by legitimate people. Furthermore, there is ZDT Entertainment Studios, which is another company that I'm a partner in, who does all of the editing for these videos and all of the posting on social media. The reason I got into social media was twofold. I told myself that I wanted to put a message of hope into the world, that perhaps my diary, my journey in life would be somehow inspiring to another young Turab or a young leader somewhere in history. I know that YouTube's going to live on beyond my life, so if someone runs across these videos, cheers, my friend. Onwards. The benefit of having all of these different things is that I get to learn a lot, but also they are intertwined. They're vastly intertwined. And when I have the opportunity of meeting people that have built these businesses and have been a part of corporate structures a lot, I get a lot of really great feedback on how these things can intertwine. For tax purposes, these are also really, really beneficial because I can move money between these organizations as required and make sure that I am staying cash flowing, which is very, very important for business in general. Hopefully the cash flow actually leads to growth and it's not just random waste of stuff, but the cash flow is very important because if we're not investing in the thing, if we're not growing our life, our pursuits, we're probably going to dwindle over time unless we get really, really lucky and get landed in a position that pays you a lot. Spiritually, the things that I've been thinking about. There is peace in life. There is love in life. There is happiness in life. And I try my very, very best to make sure that I spend the time to appreciate actually being alive and appreciating the people that I love most. So in this house, I have my mother, who is one of my greatest role models that's ever existed. And she has inspired me time and time again. There's a lot of hard conversations, obviously, that need to be had all the time because we work together. But furthermore, whenever I close my eyes and I think about the person I love the most, I cannot imagine life without her. And it leads me to think constantly about what is the pace that I'm willing to go at in life. And what is it that I'm really trying to get out of life? A lot of the stuff that inspires me these days has been thinking about a strong why. And if you know this channel, you know I've been talking about the strong why for a long time. What I've realized in my growth is that why will evolve. That picture, that perfect vision of self will evolve over time because we'll just get more experience. We'll just see things differently as we get more experience. So the why that moves me forward these days is specifically that I want to create a society where I can see really cool interactions daily. What does that really require? For me, that requires a further awareness of what's going on around me, an appreciation for life in general. But also it requires me to step up with the intelligence and perhaps the equations that I have in my head to foster environments, cultures in towns and cities, perhaps the country and the world, that are more community oriented, that actually dwell together, that grow together. It makes a big, big difference, and the long-term effect of that hopefully is a humanity that is more sustainable and more accepting of all the chaos that I'm sure is to come. Now, when I close my eyes and I envision the thing that I want to achieve, for a long time it's been a picture of me sitting up in a space station looking down at the world, or across at the world, whatever it is, and being there alone. And I realized that that image is, in some parts, an insecurity that everything in life will fade. But in some parts, it means that I would be okay with dwelling on my own in the observation of the world, but also in, I guess, the positive change of the world. And it's one of those things that concerns me many times, because these images, these visions that we have of the future are incredibly potent. If they come up again and again, we can solidify something that we don't necessarily want in our life. So what I'm going to be working on is solidifying a vision that includes more love and more peace in life. And that really does require some conscious effort. And if you take anything away from this video, I hope it is that there are some things to think about, and there are some things to be grateful for. And there's a constant movement that happens in a productive person's life that allows us time to get away from those thoughts and not necessarily dwell on them. And then there's hopefully times where we get to rest on the trail, look off into the distance, and see beautiful views of the world around, the world perhaps that we are creating by traversing this mountain of ours. I hope this is finding you well. You have all of my blessings. I hope that anything bad that's happening in your life, you realize time heals most any wound. This too shall pass. I hope that if you're on top of the world and you're lacking humility, that you realize there are bigger fish in the sea. I hope that you realize this life is the only one that you might have. And try to enjoy it. Try to make the very most out of it. Try to live into your potential. There is really nothing that can touch a human being that does what needs to be done in a time when no one is watching. Actualize your potential, catalyst. This world needs you. Take care of yourself, and if you want to know anything about those things that I was talking about earlier in the businesses, it should be in the links down below. Love to hear your comments. Take care of yourself. Smash that like button. Peace.